you recently appeared in a video trying to encourage people to learn computer programming and coding. Do you think that in the near future, computer programming is going to be just as important as learning a foreign language in K through 12? Or learning the language of code, learning computing?
Well, I think more kids should learn to program. I wouldn't say that we should impose that on everyone. The fact of understanding how the computer works gives you a real sense of what it can do and what it can't do. There's a lot of great jobs out there, and so we don't have programming enough on the curriculum. But I certainly wouldn't put it at like math or literacy. But there's a lot of innovative stuff that make it more interesting. It's not just for nerds like it was when I did it.
And this trend towards remote learning and education increasingly online, do the same rules apply for the office? We recently saw Marissa Meyer. She spoke about how people needed to be in the office for collaboration. Do you believe that's the case for business?
Well, it depends very much on the job category. The general trend has been to give employees more flexibility, and so that specific example is somewhat counter-trend. You don't want to go to the total extreme. A lot of jobs require face-to-face collaboration, but if you've got development centers all over the world, you've got a sales force that's out with the customers. The fact that tools like Skype and digital collaboration are letting people work better at a distance, that is a wonderful thing, and there's just more and more of that flexibility.
And the Council on Foreign Relations, they said that education is a national security issue. Do you agree on that?
Well, the strength of the U.S. is based on its economy and innovation, and you can't expect that to stay strong when we have an education system that's way behind. Our salaries, our currency won't stay strong, and so everything, our ability to afford the world's best military, our ability to be an exemplar for the entire world, where they look and say, please solve healthcare so we can follow along. That pattern of letting the U.S. lead and solve tough problems for the last 50 years has been a wonderful thing for the world. So, everybody's rooting that in education and areas that we're having a tough time, that we do find the solution. So, in the long run, our influence will be greatest if we take what allowed us to get ahead, which is a great education system, and go back and make it one of the best.
Great. And last question, because I know we got to wrap it up. You just visited UT, right? See anything there that was just really interesting? Because you're very hands-on, you're in, and you're really on the ground trying to look at some of these changes. Anything interesting when you went there? Well,
UT Austin is one of the top computer science schools. It actually is more than doubled its enrollment over the last 5 years. It's got more Hispanics than any other school. It's got great outreach to increase the numbers of women. So both in the diversity front and getting our country to provide enough developers that the jobs can overwhelmingly stay here in the U.S., it's great to see. They have a new building that I was involved with, and I got to see all their robotics work and AI work, and it's always exciting to see the innovative student breakthroughs.
And robotics and that kind of stuff, is that the next frontier? We've had the computer, we have the smartphone. I mean, what's next for us?
Well, the computer will be able to see, it will be able to listen, it'll be able to recognize handwriting, and so the distinction between what's sort of a computer that just sits there and it's really a natural part of the environment versus one that can move things around. Yes, robotics are kind of the next extension of the magic of software, and all this natural interface is what makes it more pervasive than just something in the corner with a keyboard.